vegetarian tea house is dealing with a ban on in-person dining by selling popular takeaway vegetarian dumplings. Digi volunteers expressed gratitude by making zhongsu for frontline medical workers at Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital. I'm Sean Scanlon. This is Digi Headlines. Let's get started. The pandemic has affected many industries, especially catering. One vegetarian tea house saw dine-in business suspended. Those frozen takeaway dumplings are now in high demand. Let's take a look.
In the kitchen, the chef is busy cooking dumplings, cut the dumplings wrapper, and found that the filling is rich. The secret of the aromatic dumplings is the use of the high-end ingredients.
Because it is a bit like the combination of Chinese and Western fusion cuisine that are popular among young people, and the richness of the truffles is about twice that of the general market.
The truffle is added to the dish, and the taste is really improved. Because of the pandemic, this vegetarian tea house changed its business to take out. Among them, vegetarian dumplings are particularly popular, and the daily sales volume is 10 times that before the pandemic.
We sell about 10,000 dumplings a day because our frozen dumplings are developed by ourselves and sold in every branch to provide customers convenience. Now they suddenly become our main selling point. Almost all our customers have been ordering dumplings.
Going out is risky. Many people eat at home. The sales rate of frozen dumplings has grown and become a special dish. Consumers are more willing to switch to vegetarian eating because of pandemic prevention considerations.
Nowadays, many doctors and some reports will recommend that, in fact, eating more vegetables can boost our immunity. During this pandemic, many people are willing to try a vegetarian diet.
The bus has 6 catering brands and adopt a multifaceted business model, so the impact of the pandemic is small, considering that the dietary habits of the general public have changed due to the pandemic. As a businessman, his brand moves fast and is creative. This vegetarian bakery has launched the bread set, allowing a family of 3 to eat for a week, and the product is popular.
Dragon Boat Festival is Monday and the breakfast shop will not open that day, so I have to buy 2 or 3 days worth of bread first.
The bosses not only do business, but are also willing to do charity. The box makes 2,000 vegetarian lunches at the price of $180 per serving, which will be sent to hospital or police units by Zijis volunteers to take care of everyone's stomachs and taste buds.
Because of this pandemic, the frontline personnel are the hardest working. And we have also felt that if they can eat good vegetarian meals, I think they will feel comforted.
In fact, the distribution of a vegetarian bento was initiated by Zijis volunteers, and there were many restaurants participating in the grand event. At 8:30 in the morning, this vegetarian restaurant began to prepare ingredients. It takes 2 hours to prepare hundreds of lunch boxes, so the boss has opened 3 production lines, and the dishes change every day.
The side dishes are matched with a little shredded carrot and then a little black fungus to help improve someone's appetite in terms of color, and it will also be more nutritious.
With the spread of the pandemic, many people stayed at home, but it still has to rely on a few people to keep society turning. Also, a small vegetarian lunch full of life energy recharging the frontline staff.
There's research that a plant-based diet can reduce the severity of COVID symptoms. The study was published in this month's British Medical Journal as it looked at nearly 3,000 frontline healthcare workers and their diet. Let's find out more.
If you consume animal protein, it has a higher risk than if eating plant-based proteins.
This risk the professor is speaking about is the COVID-19 virus, which seems like vaccination is the only way to contain it. Research from Johns Hopkins University in the United States shows that participants who follow a plant-based diet had 73% lower odds of moderate to severe COVID symptoms.
With high fiber and fresh fruit and vegetables, which are full of antioxidants, it helps to combat the foreign viruses inside our body, building up our immunity.
它的抵抗力就比较高。
COVID-19 的重症的
The infection reaction rate amongst the severe COVID cases is very important, as eating vegetarian foods, which have been unmodified, helps to prevent a lot of different chronic diseases, such as diabetes and other blood diseases.
心血管疾病等等。
Unmodified food or food in its original state means fresh food, ones which haven't been highly processed or filled with man-made chemicals. Research and analysis have also shown that those on a diet of high protein, low carb for weight loss are 3.86 times more likely than those who eat a plant-based diet to develop severe COVID symptoms if infected.
吃一大堆肉，然后吃很高油的这一些。
I want to remind those who eat a lot of meat to lose weight, as they think carbohydrates are evil, that actually vegetables and grains are an important part of the diet too.
还有全谷类对你也是很重要的。
It helps to fight many diseases, not just COVID.
连 COVID-19 都有一些影响。
它即使得了冠状病
When they are infected by COVID-19, their symptoms are not as severe. It is minor.
那个重症这样子。
Although this is just observational research, the participants were healthcare workers who worked with frontline COVID combating. And by choosing to adopt a vegetarian diet, they had increased their immunity, which has been a big game changer during this time.
Boston is a top city for the computer and biotechnology industry in the United States. After the pandemic, a group of young people participate in Zijis fruit and vegetable delivery service. Here's more.
The first Saturday of each month is the Tzu Chi Boston branch fruit and vegetable distribution day after the pandemic outbreak. The first stop is the food bank. Nearly 10 volunteers collected more than 500 pounds of at least 20 kinds of fruits and vegetables, as well as dried food. In order to have a balanced diet, the food includes 10 kinds of fruits and vegetables, dietary products, frozen food, rice, noodles, and cereals. Wang Yuro, a Taiwanese, is a PhD student at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He started assisting in fruit and vegetable packaging and delivery since the beginning of the year. He also brought with his friends to join.
I like moving this stuff with everyone. For delivery, there was someone who did say thank you to us. At that time, I felt a little touched.
During the pandemic, from the Bowing School, some parents of the middle to low-income families were unable to work because of taking care of their children at home. The school sought assistance from Tzu Chi, which launched food distribution once a month since last September.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon. This is Jason with the Tzu Chi Foundation. How are you?
Jason, who is a computer engineer, got to know Tzu Chi because of his girlfriend Amy. After the pandemic outbreak, his relatives and friends around were also affected. He wanted to give back to the community through fruit and vegetable distribution.
I know my brother-in-law got laid off at one point, and it's kind of a scary thought to think of, how to get basic things like a fresh meal. And so doing this, it was a no-brainer for, me to say yes to right away.
I would like to ask how you felt about the veggie bags.
From selecting fruits and vegetables to care for the recipients at the time of delivery, every time when Jason and Amy participated in the action, they could feel the difference between Tzu Chi and other groups.
The opportunity, I'm sure, has crossed before, but they're never well organized like Zijis. It was nice to see that it's well communicated here, and it's a lot of pride taken involved with it.
Thank you for bringing this to me.
Ethan Lin, who is also a computer engineer, joined Tzu Chi when he was in college. After the pandemic outbreak, he was invited by volunteers to join in the rank of delivery, which moved him to continue to give.
If the things we did can enable them to have a better diet and a better living habit, if their habits can become better, maybe their life will be a little smoother in the future.
Fruits and vegetables are not with much value, but to the families in need, they are valuable. Delivery is not difficult, but to the volunteers who are busy with life, it is precious. Spreading love with fruits and vegetables, regardless of ethnicities, allows the residents to feel the warmth in the midst of the pandemic.
Volunteers don't necessarily have time, but they have heart.
Everyone should be busy at work, but they are willing to spare some time on weekends to help others. It's quite meaningful. In Malaysia, COVID-19 patients who are less than 18 years old have increased 10 times compared to last year. Doctors have some advice for young patients. Let's learn more.
Seniors have been considered as the high-risk group for COVID-19 virus. However, in Malaysia, there are more young people diagnosed with COVID-19. Patients who are less than 18 years old have risen 10 times compared to last year. In the past year in Malaysia, there has been 8,369 child patients, with 8 children sent to ICU. However, this year up till May, there has been 82,341 child patients, with 27 of them sent to ICU. According to statistics, children with COVID-19 virus show mild symptoms and have a lower death rate than adults. However, after recovery, children might have many side effects, including pediatric multi-system inflammatory syndrome.
After the COVID-19 virus enters the patient's body, it will look for angiotensin-converting enzyme and invade the cells, causing infection. Children have fewer angiotensin-converting enzyme, so compared to adults, their symptoms will be milder. However, in some cases, they will have pediatric multi-system inflammatory syndrome. They might suffer from stomach flu, inflammatory cardiomyopathy, damages to the liver or hepatitis.
Pediatric multi-system inflammatory syndrome means the patient's different body parts might have inflammation for unknown reasons. Fortunately, most patients' conditions will improve after receiving treatment. However, another side effect from COVID-19 might not be cured so easily.
As we breathe in and out, our lungs endure different pressure. The lungs will have different abilities to expand and contract. After a child gets infected, if he experiences lung fibrosis, his lung abilities will reduce. He cannot expand and contract his lungs like normal people.
After a patient experiences lung fibrosis, his lung will have the condition of forming scabs. If the damages to the lung is severe, the patient could pass away. While the lungs that have gone through fibrosis cannot be recovered, patients can still increase their lung capacity through simple physical therapies.
This spirometry can help them increase lung capacities through breathing in, holding their breath, and then breathing out.
The patients can also do some aerobic exercises, including walking, jogging, or riding bicycles for at least 20 minutes. They can also do muscle training to improve their breathing capabilities and endurance. Children should be protected, but they cannot receive vaccination for the time being. Therefore, parents must follow pandemic prevention measures and register to receive vaccinations to protect their children so they won't suffer from the illness.
Digi volunteers made delicious vegetarian lunches and sent them to Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital medical staff, who were very touched and expressed their gratitude on 2 message walls in the emergency room.
Zijis volunteers take turn cooking delicacies in different places. The warm lunch box is filled with gratitude and comfort to the tired medical staff.
Cabbage is delicious and broccoli is delicious.
Today's dishes are very refreshing and delicious, especially the tofu skin.
The medical staff turn their touches into words. The corners of the hospital record their gratitude. Thank you, Zijis volunteers, for providing nutritious meals during the pandemic, so they can have enough energy to fight and face all kinds of patients and challenges.
In addition to warming their stomachs, it also warmed their hearts, allowing them to have the full love given by Digi brothers and sisters in their busy process.
On the message wall, there are cute illustrations, and the medical staff in protective clothing are smiling. They seem to be telling the volunteers that they have received everyone's intentions.
For the Dragon Boat Festival, the superintendent of Hualien Digi Medical Center brought gift bags, zhongsu, and snacks to the COVID-19 ward for medical workers. Local hoteliers also made biscuits, thanking medical staff. Here's more.
On the eve of a Dragon Boat Festival, Hualien Tzu Chi Medical Center Superintendent Lin Xinrong brought zhongsu and variety snacks to the COVID-19 dedicated ward, thanking the medical staff for their hard work on the front line of pandemic prevention.
Happy Dragon Boat Festival paid tribute to the pandemic prevention heroes.
In the dedicated ward, the 80-year-old grandpa, under the careful care of the medical team, recovered well and expressed his mood through the tablet. Also, the owner of Hualien Hotel has made special shape anti-pandemic baskets to cheer up the medical staff.
After eating the sweet and crunchy biscuit, the mood will be better and will be more positive. I hope that the medical staff who work so hard can get spiritual comfort.
On the Dragon Boat Festival during the pandemic, the love from all walks of life will be gathered so that everyone's heart can come together to fight the pandemic.
Zhongsu Digi volunteers continued the tradition of making zhongsu, and starting 3 days ago, they sourced ingredients with zhongsu later delivered to care recipients, along with special blessings. Take a look. 450 caddies of glutinous rice were needed to produce 4,000 vegetarian zhongsu. The rice must be sautéed with a spatula, and it can't be done too slowly, as Digi brothers have to use their physical strength to do it.
Cooking the rice for the zhongzi is for a good cause. I hope the world will appreciate this act of charity, as I feel very happy.
This is the 12th year that the Zhongsu Digi members have mobilized to make these zhongzi. 3 days ago, they started preparing materials.
The ingredients are all natural ingredients. This made it closer to the original taste.
At 5 o'clock in the morning, 76-year-old Lu Yangrong reported to work. She was the oldest volunteer and has the most skilled hands for this.
Caring for poor households and letting him have a concept of being vegetarian is important. Because of the epidemic now, what everyone needs the most is the importance of vegetarian food.
The rice zhongzi come out of the kitchen and are delivered quickly to the hands of the care recipient households. Volunteers make a special trip to the busy commercial part of the city. Every week there's a recycling day. There's a tacit understanding with local stores.
It is not just vegetarian zhongzi, it also includes love and blessings.
I wish you a prosperous business. This is our vegetarian zhongzi. It's delicious.
This is so caring and compassionate, making zhongzi for us. We are so touched.
Using love to bring people together, these fragrant zhongzi help forge a long-term bond within the community. In Chengdu, Digi volunteers went to visit scholarship recipients in Mingshan after the college entrance examination was finished. This is Digi's 9th year of helping students in Mingshan. Among the volunteers was Chen Ting, who has received New Shoot scholarships during high school and university. Here's more.
Ran Shuman has lived in Chengdu for 30 years and returned to her hometown, Mingshan. The feeling of hometown was still the same.
Returning to my hometown, I suddenly found that my friends here are totally different. I found that they are really caring, but just without a platform for them to contribute.
The local resident Wu Zhengnan, invited by Ran Shuman, conducted home visitation for the first time to care for other residents.
Tzu Chi represents an act of caring. If we practice it, it means to care for others. While you care for others with love, you will also receive loving care in return.
Young people are easy to communicate with one another. Chen Ting, who is a teacher, talks about learning and the future.
For this question, you should practice more. Then you will find the solution immediately. When I was taking the college entrance examination, I didn't need to think for a long time.
I went to study and go to a good university, so it will be easier for me to find a job in the future. I don't want my parents to work so hard, collecting tea leaves every day.
Chen Ting's high school plus university has lasted for 7 years, so this New Shoot scholarship has inspired her to spread loving care around.
I have learned a lot about love from Tzu Chi. Bearing a grateful heart, I want to pass on this love to others. Growing from every failure and experience, I want to become a better version of myself and find a better direction in life.
On June 6, 2021, Mr. Sim Hee Chu, a member of Digi Singapore Board of Directors and leader of Digi Singapore Entrepreneurs Association, died peacefully in his sleep on his 72nd birthday. He was known for his wit and devotion to charitable affairs. 800 people attended his memorial service, both in person and online.
The kind smile in the photo is what many will remember, as he is known as Grandpa-son to many Zijis Singaporeans. On June 6, 2021, Zijis Council member Shen Xizhou passed away peacefully in his sleep on his 72nd birthday.
It really hurts. We have lost an excellent person of model character. It was really a shock.
We invest together, discuss together, went abroad together, and you lead me to do good deeds. We share how to lead people with heart, how to be grateful. I benefit a lot from you.
At the memorial service, pandemic prevention measures were strictly observed. More than 800 people, including family members, business partners, and Tzu members, attended both at home and abroad. They shared in this memorial service online and left messages expressing their mourning. A Dharma master from the Jingsi abode also conveyed Master Zheng Yan's blessing.
Master Zheng Yan deeply believes that disciple Ji Yang had been benevolent upright, without any mental disturbance. He has far to live and return quickly with healthy body, and come back to Tzu Chi to take over Tzu Chi's mission and pass on the Dharma lineage.
For more than 10 years, Shen Xizhou gradually handed over duties associated with his multinational company and devoted himself to promoting Tzu Chi's ambitions, looking for land, raising donations, visiting the poor and sick. Despite his constant running around, he never said he was tired. Just like his tall and upright body posture, he was a person people could rely upon.
I remember once on the Buddha's birthday, we wanted 5,000 people to participate. He himself recruited 500 people. He told me that he made 1,000 phone calls, and then he delivered the clothes they needed to wear to everyone's home one by one. His humility and disregard for himself was a good example for us.
Although Grandpa-son's pragmatic and wonderful life has come to an end, his explanatory spirit will always be imprinted in many hearts.
其实人生真的短，一转眼就是你的一辈子。这一辈子之后，好像上人生一辈子这样空过，不如我们把握当下的时间，创造那个人生的价值。
The pandemic has increased the need for life-saving goods at hospitals. Taiwanese entertainer Jia Yongjie raised funds to purchase 300 high-flow oxygen machines for local hospitals, with 15 sent to Taipei Digi Hospital. We leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.